How and welcome. I am Fabian and this is going to be my new video series working on Outcast 2. As you probably know, I am a huge Outcast fan and I have been working on my fan site Planet Adelpha for countless moons. But what you probably don't know is that I have the honor of being an actual part of the creation of Outcast 2. So I was asked by Appeal to join the team and join the production of the long-awaited sequel for Outcast. So follow me through the Doka and join the creation of Outcast 2. First off, please excuse my horrible accent. I am not a native speaker, but I wanted to do this in English to let more fans be a part of the journey and join us in this series. So, let's get started. Having a job at the wonderful Outcast 2 team is a dream coming true to me. I never thought that would actually happen to me in my lifetime. But here we are, from fansite creator to consultant on Outcast 2. So how did that happen? How did I get to join the team for the sequel? Let's roll back time a few years and see how it all started. 20 years ago, I first entered the world of Outcast and I was immediately blown away. I loved it so much. The character, the talents, the story, the world, the immersion, and I instantly fell in love with everything. So it's my favorite game of all time. And I even created a project for it, developing the Talon language with others called Sprache der Talaner. One of the three fathers of Outcast, Yves, left the production of the sequel to pursue his own game ideas, his own projects, and I followed him around. We came in contact and kept contact over many years, and I created fan sites for all his game visions and projects. I was very sad when Yves next big project called Totems was cancelled in 2008. It would have been an amazing game in a great world, but unfortunately it never happened, but you can still find some images and videos floating around on YouTube. Yves always wanted to do a sequel for Outcast. He tried many times, but finally in 2013 he came a step closer when buying the Outcast rights back together with the other two fathers of Outcast, with Jan Roberts and Frank Sauer. In 2016 they finally got the money and signed a deal with Big Ben Interactive to get the remake of Outcast 1 funded, as the first stepping stone towards the long-awaited sequel. Yves reached out to us and together with other great fans, like Roy from Outcast Universe or Adam from Under the Moons, we created new channels, new videos, new websites and accompanied the rebirth of Outcast and the remake Outcast Second Contact. In 2017 I joined the team in bug hunting and beta testing the game before its release. Unfortunately, the budget for the remake was very tight, so Appeal couldn't pay me for my services, but I didn't mind. I was very glad to help and try to sort out all the bugs and problems of the remake. But Yves always told me, if we get to do an Outcast 2, you will get a job and you will get paid for it. And he kept his word. When they finally signed a deal with THQ Nordic, he came back to me and offered me a job on Outcast 2. And when he asked me, I was like, I have to think about it, I don't really know. Joking aside, I was like, I'm in! So here we are, at the beginning of 2019, joining the team of Appeal. So what would my job be like? I don't have the skill for programming. I don't even know that much about video game creation, so what's my job gonna be like? Yves always appreciated my deep knowledge of the game, and during the remake he often asked me about certain aspects because he knew I would probably know every detail about it. Because you have to understand, in a video game development there are many people involved. Everyone is an expert on his or her aspect of the game, but I'm like an expert on the content, on the story and all the details of the lore of the game. During the remake, Eve often asked me about details and specifics because he wanted to make sure that nothing is forgotten and everything is in place for this game. So I remember one day he asked me, "What about those Twonha in Shamaza, the wild ones? Can you ride them?" And I was like, "Of course you can ride them." And Eve replied, "We were crazy back in the day." Sorry Eve for this very bad impersonation. So that's how I got appointed as lore consultant of Outcast 2. What does that mean, you might ask? Well, that means that I am involved in all the things like names, language, creatures, rituals, religion, and all the other aspects of the game world, that everything is coherent and makes sense. They wanted to have a guy on the team that has a deep knowledge of the first game and makes sure that everything in the sequel is coherent with Outcast 1 and everything makes sense in the game's logic. And trust me, I really hate it when sequels break the logic of what comes before. It happens so many times in movie franchises and games, and I really hate it when the sequel is disrespectful to what was before. So I was very dedicated, very dedicated, to keep the logic and lore of Outcast alive and make sure that nothing in the sequel contradicts what was before. Eve felt the same way, and that's how I became the guardian of lore consistency and of course the guardian of fan service. So whenever something new was invented for Outcast 2 or a new idea came up, I would cross-check with Outcast 1 and make sure, is it logic, does it make sense, can we do that, and then give feedback to the team and we will adjust certain aspects so it will fit into the world of Adelpha and all its history. So what is my daily job on this game? You have to understand, I don't live in Belgium, I live far away in Austria, so I couldn't join the team directly. I have another full-time job, I have many responsibilities, so I cannot work a lot of hours on the game. So early on we decided together that I will take the role of a consultant and I will join as much as I can, but I cannot join the team directly in Belgium. So my first task was to write down everything there is to know about Outcast 1 for the team as a basis for the sequel. So I read all the dialogue scripts, played the game again and again, and this became a huge document I wrote, which is called the Lore Bible. And believe me, everything is in there. It's the sacred truth, the only truth. Where was I? Believe me, I had a lot of fun writing it, and I even discovered small new things I didn't know about the game, some unused dialogues and things I later used in my deleted content videos for Outcast Second Contact. So in the end, I delivered over 30 pages of creatures, plants, religion, rituals, unresolved mysteries to be the basis for the sequel. So I handed it over to Eve, and it was very important for them early on because there were many new people joining the team and they wanted to make sure everyone's on the same page and everyone understands the world of Outcast 1. So that's it, that was my first task working on the game, and I think it was really important for the team to set the baseline, the guidelines, the frame in which the world is created and built upon. So again, Outcast is my favorite game of all time, so I really want this to be a worthy sequel. I want this to be the real Outcast 2, the real Adelpha. I want this to be the world from my childhood. So this is it for this moon. I wanted it to be the start of a new series of videos about all the aspects and things I worked on during the production of Outcast 2. Thank you all for watching, and please like, share and comment if you want to. I hope to see you back on the next one, and may the yachts be with you. Maya Afa.